What's happening, gang? It's your boy, Shooter the Investor, man. I'm glad y'all checked in with me real quick. Now, I want to talk to you guys about this crypto project that you probably saw on my TikTok, my YouTube shorts, even my IG Reels. I told you I had the secret sauce, and I want to talk about QUANT. Yeah, QUANT. Have you heard of QUANT? Ticker symbol QNT. QUANT is one of them ones, in my personal opinion, that could possibly do crazy numbers in the next bull cycle and even the next bull cycle. So you definitely want to keep it locked. We're going to break down what is QUANT, what they're trying to solve, the tokenomics, and we're going to look at the charts as well too. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So QUANT Network is the first project to solve blockchain interoperability issues throughout operating system. Yeah, you heard it. Operating system. Now you're thinking like, Shooter, it's a blockchain. What do you mean an operating system? Well, we know what operating systems are, like iOS for Apple, Android, right? This is the uniqueness of QUANT. Their overledger operating system aims to automate the trust functions between several blockchains connected with different global networks. That means they're trying to build a gap. They're trying to build a bridge. They're trying to build a bridge and pour cement in the gap, people. The large networks that we're talking about is financial services and healthcare can optimize their workflow and increase efficiency. Now, we know those two particular industries are outdated, especially healthcare. And we already know on the financial system and banking system, they kind of showed in their hand recently with these banking crises. So how does this help QUANT? Well, most blockchains run off like a DLT. It's a distributed ledger technology. This lacks seamless interoperability amongst internal ledgers and external networks. So the QUANT overledger technology is supposed to act as the blockchain missing link. It's designed to be a bridge, the gap between various blockchains and enterprise software. So the QUANT OS is also to be plug-and-play solution that does not require teams to deploy any new infrastructure. Now, blockchains. What kind of blockchains is it looking to build a gap with? Ethereum, Bitcoin Lightning, Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche, Binance, right? You have all these different blockchains out there, and a lot of them can't talk to each other. They need that middleman to be like, hey, grab my hand. You grab my hand. Let's make this thing work together seamlessly, right? So the major two components of QUANT is that they have their overledger operating system that we talked about. And then the second component is the overledger network. Let's talk more about the overledger operation system because that is the uniqueness about QUANT, right? One thing for sure, the QUANT overledger or QUANT itself, its operation system does not require blockchain. This is important because now you can talk about working with the enterprises that may not have a blockchain, like your Amazons, your Oracles, your NVIDIAs, etc., right? Your banking system, they don't run off a blockchain. So they need to have access and be able to work with the blockchain. See what the QUANT's doing? They're trying to bring the two worlds together. Now, a lot of people don't like this, right? A lot of people's like, no, keep it DeFi, keep the capitalism out of it, keep the institution out of it. Then you got the other half is like, no, we need more companies to adapt these technologies because at the end of the day, we know blockchain is technology. It's the future. We want more exposure to that big money, right? Like if I had $100 million, like I just can't go out here and buy all the QUANT for us to make it rise. We need to pull in these venture capitalists. We need to have them old heads coming here. Now we don't want them changing the rules, but we want their money so we can get their money. You dig? Can I get an amen in the chat? Anyways, so the overledger, the operating system, it is the heartbeat of the ecosystem. It allows users to create access multi-chain application known as maps. Now, we know DApps, right? Decentralized application. QUANT has maps. These are made of treaty contracts instead of smart contracts like dApps. Treaty contracts make it possible to build applications using multiple blockchains since it allows different smart contracts to interact. Bridge, right? Seamlessly, right? So that's what the operating system. Let's talk about the network. The overledger network consists of developers and enterprises that use QUANT network seamlessly, right? Here they will pay an annual license fee for using the technology. Users can also sell their current maps and data over the Ledger network marketplace. That's utilitarian. That's utility. We only invest in projects with utility. There's more utility I want to kind of show you guys too in regards to Quant, but that's supporting utility. That's creating funds, right? Now, let me talk about some concerns because I don't want to give you the sugar without the shit. You dig? The biggest mystery of the Quant technology is that the project is not open source, right? So we must trust the general information available. There's also no roadmap. This project also, the white paper is a little unclear. Those are two major red flags, right? Those are red from what you were taught on how to research cryptocurrency. You always talk about what's the roadmap? What's the white paper tell you? Well, there's no roadmap. And I haven't checked as recently, but there's no roadmap available that I found. Now, if that could be different, let me know in the comments. But the white paper, if it's unclear, and that might be for me, right? How I digest it. If you can go read the white paper and it makes total sense to you, then I get it. But to me, it's a little unclear, right? And I don't want to make this video much longer and break down the white paper, but go read the white paper. I always tell my people that, go read the white paper. But however, Quant's 2021 was hell. It was hell in a good way. Like they ran it up. The achievements has been very impressive. The partnerships that they gained in 2021 has been very impressive. So, you know, it's one of those things, right? Give or take, right? That's why I say do your own research. Don't base it off of me and what I'm telling you to do. Also, more concerns. Now, solving the blockchain interoperability, like everyone's trying to do it. XRP, ADA, Solana, Ethereum. I mean, there's so many, right? And with all that being said, that means that this particular market is very competitive. So you have a lot of these big dogs that's been doing it for a few years. And then you have Quant, who's only been around since 2018 and really started getting their traction since 2021. So that right there letting you know it's a competitive market. But with that being said, they've also grown in a fast rate. Their network has grown like incredibly high since then. And they continue to gain more partnerships. And we all know the more big name partnerships like the NVIDIAs, the IBMs, the Oracle, Amazon, etc., that shows good faith. But again, you take it for a grain of salt, right? If Quant continues to upgrade and improve their technology, in my opinion, they have a chance to compete with the big dogs. They do. They really do have a chance to compete with the big dogs. But hey, it's my opinion, man. You have to do your own research. I like Quant very much so. If you're in my Discord, you already know how much I am dedicating as far as my initial investment in a Quant. I'm going to share that with you guys at the end as well, too. But, hey, since we're on CoinMarketCap, you can kind of see right now Quant is trading roughly about $115.95. They're 40th out of 23,000 cryptos. They're ranked 40th, right? Been around since 2018. This is the thing. Total supply, max supply, 14,881,000 Quant tokens available. Does that sound familiar? Who has a low max supply? Bitcoin. A lot of people compare this based on tokenomics to Bitcoin. I've been caught saying on Twitter, me buying Quant at $100 feels like buying Bitcoin back in 2018 at $100. Now, will Quant have a run like Bitcoin? I don't know. But if they continue to start building, get more of that venture capitalist money, more of that institutional money, with that type of supply and their utilitarian value and what they offer as far as utility, anything is possible. Now, keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about their lows and their highs, right? All-time low, 16 cents. This was back in 2018, 5 years ago. Just think if you would have bought Quant at 16 cents. Look at Quant 2 years ago, all-time high, $428. Now, I can do some fuzzy math to give you an idea. So 16 cents, right? $1,000. I have well over $1,000 in a project called The Graph, right? I'm going to pull out my calculator here. Roughly gives you about 7,000 tokens, right? $1,000, 16 cents. If you times that by 428, you'd have made that much money. $2.9 million if you would have got in Quant and held it for 5 years. Just saying, man, I'm not trying to like get y'all excited and go out here and spend hundreds of dollars. It's all about, you know, being first, right? Being first in the game, doing your research, learning about these projects, man. So that's the tokenomics on Quant. You can buy Quant. I'm buying Quant on CoinMarketCap. I know, Coinbase, buying it on Coinbase. I know it's available on KuCoin, crypto.com, Binance US if you're in the United States. And what else? Uphold as well too. So that's where I'm buying my Quant. That's where you can get it from. Now, let's quickly look at their webpage, right? The foundation of the blockchain economy. We already talked about with Quant. I just want to give you a quick overview on their website. They're big in the financial industry and in this institutional space. They're also going to be one of the projects that's going to be working with these centralized bank digital currencies, these CBDCs, which a lot of those crypto heads are not fond of at all, but it's going to be something that's going to happen, right? These coins are starting to roll out. These banking coins are starting to roll out. Quant is providing that operating system. Again, they're trying to bridge that gap. So some people may not like Quant because they're working on the central side, the ops, and not being a DeFi project. But at the end of the day, we're here to make money. We got to take our emotional connection out of this, our feelings out of this. And if there's an opportunity for us to make some money, then that's what we got to lean on. Now, if you have a moral compass, you're like, nope, standing on business is DeFi or die. I respect it 100%. You got to understand, I come from the stock world as well too. So I get it. Like, there's certain things that I won't invest in, like prisons and shit like that, right? Some people don't invest in the dirty energy. ExxonMobil, Shell. Me, I'm in there. Some people don't like investing in the war stuff. Boeing, L3, I'm going to go get the bag. Not saying I don't have moral compass, but I see an opportunity. And that's what it's all about, because guess what? Someone's going to take the opportunity and make a lot of money. Why I can't get a little bit of bread off the top too, off the side. So this is Quant's website, man. Always tell you guys, if you're in the crypto space, make sure you lock in on Twitter. They have a lot of announcement, a lot of information. Here's their official Quant Twitter. They have their blue check. They're paying their $8. It's Quant_network. Again, you have their official sites as well here too. Now, I want to kind of talk about some of the partnerships, utilitarian value or the utility of Quant. And then the most important thing is that they're part of ISO 2200, which gives them that stamp of approval of being compliant within that space. Now, if you've never heard of ISO 200 to 222 or 22, I'll do a video separate from that. But if you have heard, then you know about the other players that are also compliant within there. XRP, ADA, Algorand, who else? Mr. HBAR, right? We kind of know the 7 or 8 ones that's already compliant. It could be more. So this is their site. I want to talk about how Quant Network looks like. So here's the overledger, right? Let me move me out the way a little bit. Keep me right there. And this is the gateways, right? For the overledger gateway and overledger OS, right? So we already talked about this, right? Overledger network, scalable person-to-person network with layer 2 payment channels. Very important. This whole payment system is about to turn upside down with these bank crises. Be prepared. A lot of cryptos that are in the payment processing, those are the ones you want to be looking at right now. AI and those two. That's a little tidbit from me to you. Enterprise and institutional grade multi-chain oracles. I'm trying to tell you, utilitarian value. Connect any network to any network to scale without overhead or limits. Treaty contracts. Deploy, create, execute multiple chain smart contracts. Create applications, maps, that deploy and connect across multiple blockchains. Binance, Solana, ADA. Here's some people that are tied into their gateway already. Banking APIs, Citibank, JP Morgan, okay. HSBC, okay. Here's some tech, some IoT, Internet of Things APIs that they have going on. Cisco, Amazon, Nest, Intel, Samsung, Salesforce, Microsoft, IBM, Watson. Interesting. Okay. Here's more banks. Barclays. Heard of them. I got a bank account with them. Internet enterprise blockchains. Hyperledger. Now, I've heard that Hyperledger has dropped down recently, but I will confirm that in a short video. So check that out. Ethereum. Some blockchains they're working with. Oh, Avalanche. Talked about them. Blockchain. Cardano. Okay. Cosmos. If you know about Cosmos, they big. Cosmos big. Cosmos pretty much the blockchain of crypto.com. That's Polkadot, XRP, VeChain. Payment APIs. We know payment is a big question with this Fed now coming out in the US. Working with Venmo, PayPal, Samsung Pay, Swift, who's going to be replaced by, I won't say replaced, but the ISO 2022. Google Pay, Apple Pay, Amazon Pay. We know these. Walmart Pay. We know these. Stripe. We know these. IFTT. Who we see here? LinkedIn, Facebook, MailChimp, eBay, Spotify, Shopify. Hey, man. Quant out here, y'all. Quant's out here. Now, let's look at the utility token, right? Their value, right? So, enterprise licensing. We're not going to read all these. Developer licensing, platform fees, identification and accounts, gateway and staking, application and users, transaction processing, utility token investing and trading. Quant's going to be one of the ones that bridge the gap between decentralized and centralized, in my opinion. ISO 222. As you can see, these are the current compliant crypto projects: HBAR, IOTA, Algorand, XDC, Quant, Stellar, RIP. You can see it, and you can kind of see how it all taken. And who's in the middle of this? Who's in the middle? Quant, Overledger. Look, now we're not about to break this down and like all the lines, but you can see who's in the middle. They got the central banking digital currencies right there. Constellation right there. Here's the ice. Look, I'm just giving you the push to your research. I'm not trying to sell you on nothing. I'm giving you what you can go back and start doing your research on. Let's look at their chart real quick before this video gets way too long. Here it is on the week. This is tradingview.com. Currently, as you can see, the all-time high, roughly about $428.29. That run was a hellacious run. We can kind of look at it right here. I mean, look at this run. That was a 672% run. Where do I see this possibly? Is this the only run that Quant? Depends on a lot of things, right? Depends on who's adapting, who's talking about it, who's putting their money behind it. Could we see another run like that? And what would that look like? Well, if just going off based off of here to here, that's roughly a 290% run. Is that very possible? And in the next bull cycle, absolutely. If it did over 600, it's definitely going to do over 200 to 300%. That means if you're in buying Quant now, roughly at 115 and gets up to 430, that's a 3x on your money right there. So let's look at the Fibonacci's and where I think this bad boy could go. Bring out my Fibonacci's, take that bottom to that top, right? And let's kind of like zoom out, right? So if this thing hit the top of the fib, right, just based off of the bull cycle, the amount of money that's going to be going into Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously Bitcoin's going to get the money first, followed by Ethereum, then it'll become altcoin season. This is an altcoin. It can trickle down. Could it do the top of this Fibonacci retracement? The top of this is about $1,700. I personally think that it can possibly get there. Will it get there in the next bull cycle? Maybe. Will it find new price discovery past $400 and retrace and continue to go? It possibly could. Could it not? Absolutely. It could stay pretty much consistent. Hell, it can lose value. I'm here for the long haul. I don't have any plans of getting rid of my Quant. Even if it hits that $1,700, I'm going to take some profit, but I'm going to hold this thing up to the next bull cycle of 2030. 2030 is going to be that metaverse bull cycle, in my opinion. This one in particular that's going to be happening. This is more so reallocating funds from banks into crypto, which is very important, and digital payments and digital currency. So I'm going to kind of like take a little profit off the top, prepare myself so I can buy more and reinvest in it. But that 2031, that's the one that's really going to be pumping. That's where the bridge between Web 3.0, metaverse, and all that stuff will take place. We'll probably have better guidelines in regards to regulations and stuff like that. Now, I will tell you this. The amount of Quant that I'm looking to invest, and I'm share that with you, is about $5,000. Now, I'm going to show you what that investment will look like. I'm going to use my handy dandy coin stack calculator here, right? And I'm looking at anywhere between $5,000 to $5,500 investment on Quant. And we're going to do what that would look like if it finds price discovery at $1,700, right? So a $5,500 investment, initial investment in a Quant, if it goes to $1,700 coin, that's about 80 grand made, right? Now, what I personally think that Quant can do based off of market cap and adaption, I'm looking at it at a $25,000 quant. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen in this next bull run, but I'm willing to hold it up to the point that it goes to the next bull cycle. That's about a $1.1 million return. Just if I don't do any more money but that $5,500 investment, which I will be adding more money to after that, that's what I'm looking at, right? Now, again, Quant could just lose its value and just become a shit coin and just wreck. And then I'm out of money. But like I always tell you guys, I'm willing to risk a few $1,000s to make $100,000. That's part of investing. It is what it is. So that's Quant, guys. I appreciate you guys pulling up on it. That's the secret one. Definitely add that to your watch list. I think it's well worth it. And keep it locked, man. I got more videos like this. I'll be breaking down more coins. And if you like Quant and want more Quant videos, let me know in the chat, because I'll bust them out for you. You know how I do it, baby. Anyways, your boy Shooter Investor. I checked in for the gang. I love y'all. Peace. Yes, sir. Quant, one of the ones, y'all. No shit.